How do you get coaching clients? Well, I am the expert at this. So inside of our coaching company, as a woman, I know I have some of the top numbers that have ever been produced in the coaching space. And I go head to head with a lot of those men. And the reason why are these three things when it comes to the coaching business. Number one is clarifying your coaching message. Number two is the effective strategies of a quick acquisition. And I'm going to say, how do you monetize that acquisition of your client? Number three, the importance of systemizing it, the pitfalls that I see over and over and over, starting with how you were trained. So I'm actually going to do a little bit right there. How you were trained, and are you really a professionally trained coach? I was one of the first in the International Coach Federation, which is the ICF. There's a lot of people who went from consultants to facilitators to therapists to now calling themselves a coach. Personally, I don't think coaching is a title. It's a process you take someone to for clarification of their life or their money. In my case, I want to make you a millionaire. We do more directive coaching, I call it, and mentoring than we do peer coaching. Peer coaching in its true form is digging out the truth. It's more therapeutic. It's, you know your answers, so I'm just going to keep grilling down a hole of questioning till you actually come up with the answer for you and yourself. And therapists should actually do a little more of that, but they don't. So clarifying your coaching message. What are you an expert in is the language I use. So not what are you a coach about. And if you are in the what I call the generic areas, you say, well, I'm a success coach. I'm a performance coach, right? That's where the categories that Tony Robbins lives in. And out of there became a ton and tons of people. I'm a mindset coach. I'm a coach from The Secret, right? So in those categories, you got a really crowded category. So what makes you distinctively different? What's your message? So I'm in a really crowded space. So what's my distinction, right? What are my distinctions? I promise a result in 3 to 5 years, right? A millionaire. And then we take you through a very specific experience in having you get there. So it's, again, very directive, because if you knew how to be a millionaire, you could just go out and do it. You need to be coached and mentored into that directive. So what is your message, and how are you getting a clear strategy? And one of the things that I would encourage you to do is go out and find the people that are your competitors. Who's making the most money in the space? What do they look like? What do they breathe like? What's their messaging? What are their promises? And study them, follow them implicitly. I call them find your model companies and do everything that they do. R&D, replicate, and duplicate. So again, when I say, what are you an expert in? I mean, follow your expertise. Don't become a coach in something that you have to go learn about. You have enough to do learning to be an entrepreneur and using coaching as the vehicle that you want to become the entrepreneur, to learn marketing, sales, and cash flow. Learning to be an entrepreneur and making your first 100,000 is more challenging than actually leading your expertise through coaching. The other thing, as we go into number two, just the strategies for quick acquisition, is if you're following a coach model, and I just got a brand new coach out of someone else's system that was trained in a methodology. And again, they have these horrible revenue models. Get 20 clients at $200 and you're going to make $4,000 a month. Well, first of all, I wouldn't get out of bed for $4,000 a month to do the work that it takes to be an entrepreneur. Now you add a zero to that and it's a little more exciting. And that's how it should be for you. Any sort of acquisition of a client, you want to get to what's the dollar amount. How much did you have to spend in an ad spend online? How much did you have to travel to go speak at an engagement to get the clients? You need to add in all of the costs of the acquisition of that client. And most coaches don't operate like that. Most coaching companies that trained you don't train you in revenue models and margin models. They train you in make $4,000 a month. And for just an average solopreneur, that might sound great. I can promise you, in this exhaustive model. So I saw that model in 1996 when I was first being trained in the coaching model. I thought, I'm not doing this. I need to add a few zeros a month, and then I'll get out of bed to do this, because the acquisition cost is typically high. So again, when I started this, I said you have to have a clear message. Your message needs to convert to the ROI. So are you what you're saying in all of your social posts, your content, your expertise, following the message of, in my model, distinctively making you a millionaire? Why do we do marketing for people for as low as $297 a month? Because I need to track what's working, what's not working. And if you're not making money, it's typically your marketing is off. Whether it's a coaching business or any business, you got to have your messaging clear to the acquisition. And then where are you getting your clients? You need to track down to that detail, which is why I want you to get our rapid marketing system, the exact system I use to track the segmentation of, does your lead that actually converts to a client come from TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, speaking, affiliates, Where do they come from? The days of I do word of mouth marketing only, it's a dying breed. It's a great segment, but it's one very small segment of what you should and could be doing to actually grow into a 6, 7, 8, 9-figure coaching company. And then we got to go to number 3, which is the systemizing. How do you do it? Just because you market properly to get the client, if you don't have a sales system to sell the client into an accurate funnel, again, messaging. So if I want to make you a millionaire, I need to create a funnel of experiences that start with as low as free, $17, $27, $47, and bring it into what is your high ticket offer as a coach to create effectiveness in the area of expertise. This is not difficult. It's different than you've been taught. So a lot of you're taking coach models, which are teaching you a methodology of, say, John Maxwell, Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, Mary Morrissey. I know all of them. People say, how do I become a coach for you? You become a millionaire. You become a millionaire through our system, and then we bring you into our coaching. So it's a very different model of how we systemized our coaches versus get randoms off the street to pay you to get coached in a methodology without marketing, sales, and accounting. So why do people come to us? Because then we add the marketing, sales, cash flow, the accounting, the actual revenue model to coaching. Because you can coach a methodology all day long. Can you get a client? Can you monetize? Is it worth getting out of bed for $4,000 a month? I would say no. And all of you actually deserve more. And if you say you want to help people, then you got to have a bigger marketing machine. So before we go on, I want you to subscribe to my channel, click that notification button, be here 5 days a week. We talk about everything business, money, wealth building, generational wealth. To be a millionaire, you've got to make money, keep money, invest money, and use a team. And I've assembled a team for you to make this faster. So many of you are struggling finding teammates that just don't work, or they only work for a few months. So last point I want to make is the importance of systemizing. So how do you systemize your coaching? As the owner and driver of a revenue, you're going to come up here to the front, just like I do, and you're going to produce the content. You're going to produce the messaging. You're going to be out on social channels. You're going to bring people into some sort of a live event online where you're then going to convert them into your sales cycle. And the sales cycle is where I see most coaches fall down. They think they can do all the coaching and you can do all the selling. At some point, here's where your cash flow is going to look. It's going to be a roller coaster because you're going to be fulfilling, then you're going to get short. People are going to drop off or be done with their coaching. Now your cash flow goes down. Now to get back to the sales cycle, then you fulfill, then you sell, then you fulfill. It doesn't work. So I can tell you, you've got to drive it all. So I started the coaching process in the beginning, and I could easily get clients because I was a master distributor for cash flow for the Rich Dad Poor Dad brand. So I didn't have to do the front marketing and selling as much. When I actually changed to my own brand, guess where I took a seat? At the front. I drive the marketing, I drive the sales system, and I outsourced my coaching. Now people want to pay a lot more for me. They can still get me to be their mentor coach. Cannot wait to help you do a 6, 7, 8, 9-figure business in coaching when you are ready. So I'm going to offer you a strategy session to come talk to our team. I am the best of systemizing this and teaching you the whole system integrated, not just one piece. So it's fine if you go out and get some specialized coaching, but the system and the monetization of coaching you will learn right here, as well as if you want to be an author, speaker, trainer. So if you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL. Ask a question, make a request. We'll be right back here tomorrow.